All right, so this is the setup scene for our experience. And just like before, you'll see it starts with an intensity level slider. So I can adjust this. And when I do that, it will automatically adjust all these other parameters for me. And so that's the easiest way to start setting it up. And then I can come down here and adjust these to whatever I want it to be. So here we have our routes. So if we look over here on our map, you can see that we start where the little green guy is, and we finish where the red arrow is. So for every intensity level, there are 5 pre-selected routes. So as I click on these, you'll see that the destinations move around for each one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it back to intensity 1 so that we don't have to travel very far. In this case, we're only going 2 stops. All right, we've got one more section over here, and this has to do with the tutorials. There are now 3 tutorials. There's one that teaches you how to click on things. There's one that teaches you how to teleport, and there's one that teaches you how to open and close your subway map. So this changes the directions from either controllers or hand tracking, so you get appropriate directions. So I'm going to leave that one on controllers for now. And the very last thing you have to do is you have to enter a patient ID, and you can tell because it's red. So if I click on it, I get a keyboard here. I can just punch something in. Now it's no longer red, and the begin button is active. I wasn't able to click on that until I put a patient ID in. And you have to have the patient ID because it stores all the data using the patient ID. So now we can go ahead and begin. This is the EULA scene. So this is the first scene that your player is going to see. This is where they'll put on the headset. Over here, we've got our directions that show how to interact with this. So as you can see, I can move this around, and I'm just going to agree and continue. All right, so the first thing that we need to do is buy a ticket, and now that we know how to click on things, we can interact with the menu here. So there I bought a ticket, and the next tutorial shows me how to teleport. So if I look around, it instructs me to teleport over to the turnstiles. So that's what I'm going to do now. All right, in a second, our subway is going to open. But the first thing that it's going to tell us to do is to open our subway map. And we need it so that we can figure out how to get where we're going. So as it shows, we can click on any of the buttons on the top of our controller, and there's our map. So there we are, and that's where we're trying to go. So we need to get on the only train that's in this station and travel to our destination. And because we're on intensity level 1, there aren't very many NPCs.
Closing doors, please.
And we have to travel 2 stops, get off at the second stop. Lexington Avenue and 59th Street.
Now arriving at 125th Street Station.
Almost there. Just one more stop.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Now arriving at Lexington Avenue 59th Street Station.
All right, so if we look on here, we can see that we've reached our destination station. So if I travel up to,
Closing doors, please.
if I travel up to what would be street level, that's how we complete our experience. Up, up, and there's the exit. And this is our game over scene. And it tells us the station we started from and where we traveled to. And it says we traveled through 3 stations and we reached our destination in 2 minutes and 43 seconds. And it's at this point that it stores the final data for our experience.